Hi. Today we're going to talk about integrating factors, but before we really get into the heart of what they are, we're going to talk a little about inspiration from a problem that we already know. So this problem takes the form of dv dt is equal to 1 minus v, with the initial condition v of 0 is equal to 0. So usually we would approach this problem and we'd say maybe we would go with separation of variables. But instead, we're going to do something a little bit different, and we're going to first bring the v over to the left-hand side. So we'll bring it over, and we get dv dt plus v is equal to 1. And now this is where we're going to use a bit of an unusual trick. We're actually going to multiply the left and right-hand sides by e to the t. Doing so, we have e to the t times dv dt plus e to the t times v is equal to e to the t. Great. So this might not seem super helpful at first, but we can notice that this term actually has a pretty nice form, and it's actually the form of a product rule. So that allows us to rewrite this part in the form d dt e to the t times v, and then the whole equation is as written there. Great. So once we have this part, we can just integrate left and right hand side to solve this problem. So we have e to the t times v is equal to the integral of e to the t plus a constant. So, well, we know the integral of e to the t is e to the t, so we can just rewrite e to the t times v is equal to e to the t plus a constant. Great. Now, dividing out by e to the t, we have v is equal to 1 plus c over e to the t. Okay? So now all we have to do is plug in our initial condition, which gives us 0 is equal to 1 plus c over e to the 0, which is just over 1. So this means that c is equal to negative 1. Plugging back in for c, we see that the final solution to this problem is just 1 minus 1 over e to the t. Great. So now we see that by performing this trick of multiplying through by e to the t, we can solve a problem in a much easier, potentially a much easier way than we otherwise would have been able to solve this problem. And it turns out that this actually works for a much wider group of problems that have the form y prime plus p of t, where p is a function of t, times y is equal to f of t. And for these problems, it turns out that rather than multiplying through by e to the t as we did before, we just multiply through by the integrating factor, which has the form e integral of p of t dt. Great. And in our next couple of videos, we're going to talk about the derivation and the use of this sort of term.